good. I'm good.
Oh, God. Let's see if that goes.
Don't mind me
It is
just
uploading,
moving some
don't-
things around.
Just moving stuff around. So stay a while.
Stay
Oh,
a while.
and we're up.
That is one of my like favorite things about what they've done in WoW is the stay a while and listen option.
Oh yeah,
that
to like
is
actually
pretty
get
cool.
lore.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. I'm gonna restart this again. My
And it's
camera
nice
keeps
that it's
going
all
crazy.
voice acted. It's not like a whole bunch of reading, which I
It's like
struggle
they
with.
took the notes from that one add-on that like AI voice acted everything,
Yes.
and they were like, "Oh, maybe we should just like make it so we actually put some voice actors to work
Yes.
for longer than a cutscene."
I will say, I think they watched the Day 9 experience and were immediately like, we need to fix this.
For sure, for sure.
Because
Yeah,
that was hard to watch.
that was a rough time, guys.
I just started watching him do the launch. Did y'all see that? He did the
Yeah.
War Within
Yeah.
launch.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I bought the game, and marketing at some point decided to do this thing where it's like, we'll sell you the game, but you'll have no idea how to play it.
Yeah.
It's like, what do I do?
What a great way to start, guys. What a great way to start. Oh, so quick thing. Nice little add-on little section that we're doing. I know I think I may have mentioned this before, but what are y'all drinking before we're drinking?
I have Long Branch.
I'm drinking the New Riff malted rye.
Wait, do I have that?
I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah, I'm the only one who doesn't have it because my store has everything from New Riff except for the malted rye.
Wait, including the single barrel select?
Yep. We had a single barrel select there.
Eric, you remember that time?
I didn't buy it yet. No. I will get it at some point.
Okay.
Eric, you remember that time?
I was buying a lot of other stuff while I was there.
That's
man.
fair. That's fair.
There was a time that we were at a pizza place and I needed to summon like the waitress or something like that. So I made a
Yes.
tower of
Summon
salt.
We
the
made a tower of
waitress.
salt.
Like I stacked everything up really high so that someone would come because we were
There's a
sitting there
video.
Hey,
forever.
are you
Someone-
bored? Hey, are you bored? Hey, are
Yeah.
you? What's wrong?
But I have a new summoning tower, and that summoning tower is just I'm stocking up bottles of New Riff until eventually my best friend shows up because he just like he feels it like pulls them in like the Dragon Balls. I just gotta get like 7 New Riffs. Then he shows up and they all leave and they scatter across the planet and we're like, crap.
I'm like, I didn't fly here. I don't have a return trip. What am I
Dude.
doing here?
I just saw Vegeta's new form
Oh,
like an hour ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
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 How do you feel about it?
Okay, it looks nuts, and then at one point I realized, wait, that looks like Super Saiyan 3 face.
Yeah,
Because he's got the like
the
the
missing
eyebrows.
Yeah, man.
Oh, sorry, spoilers, Ash, if you're listening. But-
I doubt she's gonna really like
Yeah, whatever.
pull that. Yeah,
But yeah,
it's like
wild.
it's not a huge giveaway. But yeah,
I don't know what color his hair though is.
I think
Yes,
it's supposed to be purple.
that's what I was guessing.
something.
I was like, I bet
Yeah.
it's purple, but I
I
didn't.
think it's purple.
I didn't read a part yet that
I-
says what color it would be.
Have you
But-
seen?
That's what I think it is.
So wait, what all have you caught up on?
I literally he just did it in his fight against Cereal or
Cereal.
No, it's a Cerealian. Graham.
No, it's
Graham?
granola.
Granola.
Granola. Yeah,
Granola.
something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
His name's
It's a,
Granola.
it's a,
He's a Cerealian.
Yeah. Dude, that shit's so corny.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Anyway,
But yeah, so
get into
today we're not drinking the 16th Flaviar
oh,
because I just went to
we are.
grab it and it looks like I've got 2 15s.
tell them our feelings about it, man.
Pretty both disappointed and not disappointed. Not disappointed because I really like 15, so I get to try it again. But now I got to contact them and hopefully I can get 16 this late in the game so that we can all try it together. Otherwise, y'all are doing a double someday.
Should be fine, right?
Yeah.
It should be fine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
It's all good.
But
It's a funny error.
We do have Eric. You are stuttering again, but
I know. I don't know what's going on today, audience.
No worries, my guy.
It is
well.
my camera apparently, and every time I restart it, it's good for some number of. It goes.
Yeah.
Did you use it recently?
Interesting.
No, I didn't change anything with it at all. So
Well, let's capitalize on the time that we do have.
just keep
Gentlemen,
restarting it.
What are we drinking? What
17.
number are we doing?
So we're doing number 17. We're gonna come
Android
back to
17. Here we
at some
go.
point.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to just sit around and just like chill with birds in this episode.
No.
Right? We're
No
gonna come back
birds.
to that episode.
Chill with birds?
Yeah, Android 16 would always just
Oh,
sit and
16.
let birds,
I
like, sit all
forgot.
around.
Wow.
Completely blank.
I was
Eric, what a pull, man.
Come on, guys.
You are truly the Dragon Ball fan today.
Dude, I've been watching that show probably longer than any other anime, to be fair. So
It is the starter for an entire generation.
yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
it was the first one I watched. But it's definitely the one that I'm like still watching that I watched when I was like 6 or 7 or whenever it was. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I was really young when I started that.
Do we want to compete with this, or do we want to just like kind of enjoy this sucker?
We can do an enjoy day.
Yeah, let's do
I
it.
feel
Enjoy
like competition is like
Yeah.
okay, but I feel like it's just time
Holy
to chill out
Jesus.
with the boys.
Yeah, let's just enjoy this one. So this is one of our one of our favorites, although it's kind of hit or miss for y'all. So this
That is fragrant.
The Copper Fox Rye Whiskey. We're sitting at about 90 proof, so a little bit low on the proof side, but this is a rye whiskey.
This is so floral.
So it should be spicy, peppery, a
What does the
little
book say?
cinnamon.
What does the book say? Tropical. That's what
Ooh.
constitutes tropical.
Interesting. I get no. This is not. You're on.
Oh,
16.
I'm looking at the wrong
You're
one.
on 16.
I'm looking at the wrong one.
Remember,
Look at me spoiling.
17 today.
Okay. Pepper is the biggest one.
Yeah. You
Okay,
know, I
can
get a
see
little bit of
raisin.
that pepper. I get raisin. I get a little bit of that nuttiness. I don't know if I would pick it out as almonds,
I would not say almonds. I would say.
but I do get
walnut.
like a nutty flavor, almost like a salted peanuts, boiled peanuts type of thing.
I could see that. Yeah,
I think I get peat.
I could
So-
catch the peat.
I see where you're getting the peat. I think it's a little less peaty and more of that salty nuttiness, peppery nuttiness. Like it really does have. It almost smells like a carnival a
Is
little
that
bit.
more so like the apple then? Really, the peat kind of being twisted by the pepper, and then also the nut.
I could see
flavor.
that. This 100% gives me carnival vibes, like in my head when I'm thinking about this. I think I'm
You
like
and me have very different carnival.
like a festival
Yeah.
or
Like what?
He just walks into a carnival and it smells like this. And he's like, "Yes, my childhood."
Well, so I'm
have, like-
getting like the caramel, the apple.
Oh,
like
no, I know what
caramel
you're
apple
talking
type of
about.
deal. And then I'm getting like boiled
Yeah.
peanuts,
Okay. okay.
saltiness, a little bit of umami with nutty flavors, but with that like over salted smell type of deal.
I would
Like
agree.
a-
I would agree on two fronts. One is either you're actually at like a what do you call it with all the clowns and the
Yeah.
The carnival.
not a carnival but
Circus.
a circus.
Yes.
Or
yeah, yeah, yeah,
two, you're at a real carnival owned by gypsies and they're smoking and you can smell their cigarettes all over the place. But for me and probably for Nat, funnel cakes, deep fried stuff doused in sugar is carnival smell.
I see. I'm
That's,
not
like,
getting that.
incredible.
I am definitely getting the like if you went to a state fair. Fair is probably better.
Fair. Okay.
Like a state
Yeah.
fair, but not in the sweet section, in the
Yeah.
section that has like all the meats and
It's
peanuts
got
and all that.
and it's got the maize made out of hay bales.
Yeah.
And some of those hay bales got some horse and cow shit on them.
100%. Well,
Okay.
I don't know about that.
You don't
but-
smell the horse shit?
You don't smell the horse shit.
No, I don't. Okay.
Maybe
you
that's
say?
just because I have my window open over here.
Cheers. We're gonna have to go to a fair one day.
Bro, you have
It's a
you
30.
having cows,
Dirty
man.
30. Dirty 30.
Truly
Almost got a fourth cow
incredible.
tonight.
You would have had a herd and then some. You technically could have had 2 herds.
2 herds? You heard?
Okay.
I taste the
interesting.
hay on this one.
Yeah, it has a grassy note. It has this this
we drinking?
deep-
Did we
yes.
drink?
Yes, we cheered.
I missed
cheered.
it. I
Oh
missed
no.
it.
By we cheered, he means I went, all right, cheers. Went
Yes.
straight into it. And that's why I was going dirty 30 to 30.
So we have a very dark burn that kind of gets
That's
you deep in the chest.
Super.
That kind of hangs around after the
I'm a fan, lads. I'm a fan, lads. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot of those rye flavors up front. It has this tinny tannin kind of metallic note in the middle. And then it kind of it has this like grassy hay nutty aftertaste. And it goes down hard. It kind of like makes your throat kind of close up a little bit. It kind of feels like it's hard to swallow, and then your chest has like a little oomph to it at the end.
That might just be
I
you.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't
So
understand
let's-
how this could be tropical.
You're on the wrong page.
God damn it.
I
That
did the
did
same,
the same
thing,
thing.
literally 5 minutes
I
ago.
Oh no, that did the exact same thing.
Oh my god.
So
Okay,
this,
so let's look at
spice
this a
that
little
goes
bit.
with this, man. Oh,
This is from the Copper Fox Distillery, who I don't think I've had one of their products before. So, they love Scotch whiskey. They fell in love with
oh,
Scotch
I
whiskey.
wonder where they got
Yeah.
that inspiration, what they use with it.
They love. Oh, he knew whiskey would taste great if the barley was flavored with fruitwood smoke instead of peat.
What?
It's the only distillery on the planet to mature their whiskey with toasted applewood. This process further develops and enhances the flavor of smoky malt, resulting in a complex and singular flavor experience. They're all non-chill filtered. Yeah, very distinct flavors in this one.
This one's really interesting, guys. Like, I'm usually not for this kind of flavor palette, but this has me peaked.
Yeah, it's
Oh wow.
it's this very unique set of experiences that kind of happen as you go on a date with this whiskey, right? So you start off and you're like, hey, you want to go to the state fair? And initially she's like, yeah, but we're not going through the main entrance because you skip all the sweet parts of the fair, right?
Okay.
And then once you're
The
there,
story, though. Okay.
yeah. And then once you're there, it's a rough, bumpy start, right?
You guys are just
Like,
figuring yourself out.
yeah.
You know?
And you go through this like bouncing off of each other metallic tannin phase in the middle, right? It has these notes where you're like, I see what you got going on, but we aren't there yet. And then it kind of fades into this wonderful experience where at the end of the night you take her home and you're like, yeah, we did that. That was fun.
Yeah, we did that. I
And then
dig
you'll
that.
kind of like have your awkward first kiss, and then you call it a day, and you're like, maybe next time.
Wait, you had the awkward first kiss and then you said maybe next time?
Yeah. because
not cooking
because
good, man.
it's like you get the good flavor, but then it has like a little bit of oomph in the chest.
Okay. Okay. You went on a very different date than I did.
I was sitting here trying to remember, was my first kiss with my wife awkward? And I was like, I don't think so. I just remember being like, don't look back, don't look back, don't look back.
Don't look back.
While you're walking away. I'm just
Anthony, you
teasing.
gotta
I was
look
kidding.
back,
No, of course
my
I looked
guy.
back. No, it was like,
course you
don't look
did.
back too soon.
You can't be the first one who looks back. You gotta feel it. You know.
Anthony's
you gotta
like,
feel
let's-
that hurt.
Playing chicken in his mind with how quick is he quick to turn away.
Anthony did not watch anime at this point in time. Well, no, you weren't watching anime back then, right?
Dragon Ball Z
you-
counts.
You were watching too much anime. Well, no, I mean, like, you're not watching like Clannad or something like that. You're not catching the dating practices of Japanese people,
No.
where they're like, oh, you can't do this, or you gotta always be the first person to show up, or something like that.
No, yeah, that's different. Did you do some of that Japanese stuff?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
My first date with my wife was probably as unorthodox as it possibly could have.
Hell yeah.
been, for sure. For sure. But my impression from this whiskey is you're gonna enjoy every single freaking turn on this.
There are
Right.
a lot of turns.
There's a lot of turns, but it's never like you're not getting like slung at it. Like, to borrow your carnival theme,
Yeah.
you're never gonna feel as if you're coming out of the seat on this one. The brackets that come over your shoulders are firmly seated in. You're not gonna get like absolutely destroyed. Don't worry about your neck. You're gonna enjoy this ride. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's a nice rye. It has a lot of unique things to it that are atypical of ryes, I feel. Like that very peppery, like you can tell that there are flavors in this whiskey imparted by the process that they did. Like
very
smoking it in
intentional.
applewood,
Very
you
intentional.
really get some of those like
I'm curious to see
acidic
what
apple
else they did.
notes that kind of happen along with this pepper and spice, and it has this kind of fall flavor going on with it. It
I
has
wanna
this
know.
boiled peanuts umami flavor for me that is kind of oily but a little bit salty and umami, and those all come together really nicely.
Dude.
Guys, I'm looking at their line. Bro, I want more.
You want more?
Man.
Wait, let's see. What do they have?
They have like a freaking smorgasbord. Go ahead, Anthony.
Oh, Eric just gave me the idea because he was talking about it being like kind of fall-y, and it's basically about, well, it's kind of fall here where I am. It'd be really cool if someday we had like our own version of Flaviar, but it was something people could buy
Ooh.
quarterly, and it would be like, you know, you've got a quarter of the, you have each season of the year that we are going to be going through. And they're like tailored towards that time of year, and then the audience could like drink it with us.
You let me know when you get that money, dog.
You know, it,
That would be
it,
so
it
cool.
really isn't
for sure.
that hard. I bet we could get a distributor license pretty much easier than a distilling license, and we could actually build a Tap Haven box that we
That would be
kickstart
so cool.
or do something. I don't think we'd be able
Make
to
it
do
happen.
it on like the Flaviar level without making it a full-time thing, because
Yeah.
that's hard. But as like a drop or a Kickstarter,
Yeah, like a
Something
limited
like
run
that.
thing.
yeah, a limited
sure.
run thing that we do once or twice a year type of deal. And what we would essentially do,
It'd be like 12 drinks too. Give us like
yeah,
1 week off.
Yeah.
and we would tailor the experiences to it, and we would do what I would feel is probably a much better job of catering experiences within subsets of them.
Oh yeah,
I wonder.
I agree. I have a feeling that Flaviar is mostly doing things that are convenient or that people are paying them to do. You know what I mean? They're not cultivating it. They're
Absolute garbage.
it's like
That's why
a
he's-
advertisement. I mean, we
The
found
only
some good
hard
stuff.
part would be making this drop affordable. Yeah.
Yeah, so you get 12 bottles, not tastings. You get 12 bottles with this. It's $1,200.
Yeah,
Good luck, kids.
Some of those might be absolutely insane, but man, that'd be a really cool thing to do. Simply because it luckily it really wouldn't require the same level of license that some would cost, and so a yearly distributor's license type of thing might cost us. We might have to get enough overhead for like 10 grand or something like that.
Okay.
For a state license for one of us, so that we can run the business out of one state, distribute it, and then we
Go
don't
from
have
there.
to get it the next
I'm
year.
closest to Kentucky.
Yeah.
You selfish bastard.
Well, that's how it works, right? The closer your state is to Kentucky, the more respected your whiskey is.
It's exactly what it's like. It's exactly what it's like.
There is a reason that most of the largest whiskey collections in the world are in Ohio.
'Cause
Guys,
it's the
I just sniffed this and got splashed in the eye.
Weird.
you probably
Like the
shouldn't.
tiniest little splash. Like,
A splish splash. you mean?
did gravity just go the opposite direction for a second there? Because I barely moved it.
Just a little.
I gotta clip that.
Just a little bit.
What did I do?
Fine.
That was weird.
But yeah,
anyway.
so Anthony, how do you feel about this?
do you feel?
If we're talking ratings, I really have to have Nat go first this time.
Okay, Matt, how do
Let's go.
you feel about this whiskey?
I like this a lot.
I could tell. This
I
now,
like
no.
this a lot.
Are we talking like new riff level?
I'm
Malted
talking,
rum?
like this is very interesting. Like I love the fact that every single time I go back to this Glencairn, it's a deeper smell. It's changed slightly, but the flavor is more or less the same. But like the smell allows me to delve into different parts of the taste more, because like you taste with your nose as well as your tongue, and so the olfactory being changed along with my taste buds experiencing the same thing adds more nuance to whatever I'm tasting. I am a big proponent for this kind of experience where like the deeper you get, the more varied your experience gets, and it's always positive.
Nice.
I haven't yet to run into a negative experience with this.
I will say, the more I go back to this whiskey, the more I pick it up and go, it is kind of focusing into one particular flavor for me.
Oh yeah? What do you think?
I
you're
am
falling?
getting cinnamon coated or dusted boiled peanuts.
Man, you and those peanuts, man. You really like peanuts. Do you like peanuts?
I like boiled peanuts.
See, it sounds to me like you have a propensity for peanuts of the boiled variety.
So I really am just getting this that nutty flavor that I would get when you would boil peanuts. It kind of turns into this meaty texture and flavor, and it gets like this umami oiliness to it. But I'm getting that with a sweet coating now. The more I drink this, I'm getting less spicy as I drink it,
Oh,
and
okay.
more sweet. But it's like at first they were like salty, peppered, boiled peanuts. And the more I drink it, the more that outer layer is turning into something sweeter, like a cinnamon or a sugar.
Okay. See, for me, the deeper I go into this, the more I appreciate the spice, because I can see how this could be a boring experience if there wasn't some kind of catch at the end for it to kind of like linger on. at least for me. And then for the flavor palettes, then the boiled peanuts vibe that you keep speaking of is there. I'm not going to say that it's not, but I feel like there are other flavors that I feel become more and more effusive to me the more I drink it. So what I will say is that this is definitely something that I would drink every day.
A daily drinker certification.
This is definitely a daily drinker certification. It's really good. I'm a big fan. It's gotten me looking at, anytime that I look at their website and try to see if they sell anything else, I'm like, okay, I like this.
Dude, with that said, I cannot wait until we have merch.
Oh man.
Because I want a daily drinker certification.
Daily drinker! Are you a daily drinker?
Because I feel like that'll just be so good. Like an ice stamp or a stamp that is daily drinker. Click, click.
For sure. For sure. Oh man.
Okay. So
Rating
that puts
wise,
it rating. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fuck.
Oh, you've adopted my style of ratings.
No, I have
Yes,
not.
write
Shut
that
up.
down.
God dang it. No.
Equivalent
Thinking.
to
Anthony's Anthony stupid. Anyway,
It's the way.
it's not the way.
It's the way.
I can't believe that this is the way. Anyway, I will give this a 6. It's a solid 6.
Okay.
It's a solid 6. It is not better than Frey Ranch for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I will still drink a Frey Ranch over this. But that being said, this is really good. I think I put Frey Ranch at 7. Did I put Frey Ranch at 7? What did I put?
I was about to go check.
I think mine's like an 8.
Yeah, you said the Frey Ranch is a 7 or higher.
Yeah. Okay, so this is like a 6, comfortably in a 6 territory for sure. Okay.
That's fair.
I feel
Okay,
good about my
Anthony.
rating. Thank God.
Well,
I didn't
actually,
fuck it
Nat,
up.
how much would you pay for this whiskey? Because this was.
Man. Good thing I didn't click on the website. I would pay. Let me take a freaking fly on the wild side. I would pay like $50 for this.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's close to what they're actually gonna market this for.
Anthony.
Well,
what is your rating?
I gotta lie, I'm really impressed.
Okay.
Oh. It's magic, you know?
Oh.
Eh, that's my rating right there. Eh.
That was shut up! God damn it! Oh, you make me so mad! Fuck! Just say what you want.
I gotta lie, I'm really impressed.
Gotta lie, I'm really.
You didn't catch it the first time.
I don't like you.
Oh man.
I don't like
So overall the thing with me is it's too peppery. So
It's too peppery.
it's too peppery. I actually got a new pepper grinder the other day, and I know firsthand what it's like to over pepper your stuff. I've been doing it a bit, and it's not great. And so like the initial smell was interesting but very peppery. That wasn't bad. Like I didn't dislike that initial smell. I was like, it was strong and it was cool. But afterwards, the smell became very sweet, which was also good. I like the sweet smell. And then there's also a really good aftertaste, like a really like nutty caramel aftertaste. But it's just like so much pepper. It's just so strong. It tastes over seasoned to me. It's just so pungent.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so like I still taste it a little bit. So like there's definitely good in there. I can see the good. It's like I'm sensitive to the pepper or something like that. So I give it a 4 out of 10. I like it, but I wouldn't like
Okay.
go out of my way to have it. But that is higher than my old standard. With 3 out of 10 is like my daily type
This
of
is
thing.
good
like my
though,
Woodfords.
because like now I'm like, okay, we now know that there is a difference between what Nat likes and what Anthony likes,
Yeah, it's weird.
and it's the line of pepper. Interestingly enough, because you love stuff that like hits hard.
Well, the thing is,
And
I don't dislike the pepper. It's just too much pepper. Like,
Interesting.
if the pepper would go away faster, I think I'd be okay with it. But it's just like so peppery, so for the whole amount. Even
Now-
while the aftertaste is happening, there's still the pepper there.
Now, what
So-
would you pay for it?
I'd pay like $30.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I,
But yeah, 4 out of 10.
Mine's gonna be pretty comparable.
Eric, come on. Really?
But for different reasons. For different reasons, actually.
I'm alone at the top.
This is why I made you go first.
So I do think this is just a solid, great whiskey. I think it's right below my daily drink. This is very equivalent to like the one we had last week, where it's just right below my daily drinker. And there are things I really, really like about it. I love this nutty, peppery, like sweetness that we're getting. That is kind of fun. I love this festival flavor. I think the part that I don't like, the part that kicks it out of the running for a daily drinker to me, is actually that metallic tannin middle part. I like the beginning. I like the end. There's this middle section that crosses over into this like tinny, tannin metallic kind of tinge that isn't my favorite. Like, and I think the more that I drink this, like if I were to keep drinking and keep it drinking, the thing that would make it to where I'm like, I don't want to have that today, would be that metallic middle flavor. That would be the thing keeping it from the daily drinker. But it is an entirely good whiskey to have on occasion for me that I think is definitely has the qualities of a daily drinker if you can get past that middle flavor. But that's the part that really gets it for me.
But listeners, if you have a different opinion, you've had this whiskey, let us know in the comment section.
Nat over here trying to start a war. He's like, if you think this whiskey is good like me,
you little
join me in the comment section and tell me.
Tell
how
me
much
that you stand
these
with
two
me,
are
brothers.
wrong.
Stand with me, brothers. Stand with me now.
The beacons are lit.
Condor calls for aid.
Rise,
Anyway.
Bannerman.
Oh man. Okay.
And then for price, this bottle sits right in between y'all at right around $40. So honestly, pretty
Okay.
reasonably priced.
Not bad at all.
For $40, I think essentially for me, my price once line up pretty 1-to-1 with my rating times 10, right? So if I rate you around a 4 and you're selling it around a $40 whiskey, you're in a solid spot. If you're a 7 and you're right around $70, you're in a very solid spot, you know? I think there are, of course, some outliers and craziness that happens once you get to like the crazy good, like outrageously rare whiskeys and stuff like that, where there's some like exceptions, but generally that's good. So I think at $40, this is a perfectly drinkable whiskey that you should definitely go and try. I think the Copper Fox Distillery is doing some cool stuff. They're Virginia distillery, it looks like, which is
West
pretty cool.
Virginia.
So they're honestly not that far from North Carolina. So could be a cool one to get in contact with. I do think they would, like some of their other whiskeys sound really cool. They have a rye that they finish in cognac barrels, for example.
Dude, I saw that and I was like, I don't even know if I like cognac like that. I want to try it.
a rye finished in port barrels.
Saw
They
that
have
too.
some finishing options. This one is just their base rye whiskey. The one thing that I don't see yet that I would love to see more of is some higher age whiskeys. It looks like I don't see any with an age statement yet, so I would love to see some older whiskeys in their lineup. But I imagine they are a relatively new distillery, which means they might not have the age under their belt yet.
They
So
got
we
the
might
free
have to
range
wait a
thing
few
going
years.
on.
Yeah.
Just fine.
You got to start somewhere.
You got to do a big Willie style, as they say, or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
So, yeah, a pretty good whiskey. I think, you know, if Flaviar gives me anything above a 4, I'm always really happy.
Bro, it is rare. It is rarefied air for any whiskey to come out of that box, and I'm like,
That's
oh,
not terrible.
this isn't bad.
Yeah.
And Flaviar, this isn't a mark against you,
Yeah.
but
They're giving a lot of unique whiskeys. In
For
their
sure.
lineup. And
For sure.
I think that's something that we haven't talked about a great deal on the podcast, is that we haven't particularly rated a lot of the Flaviar whiskeys very high. And that isn't a mark against Flaviar.
no.
They have done a great job of providing extremely unique whiskeys with very, very different flavor profiles in one bundle, which is one of the reasons we're doing it as part of the podcast, because that's really cool. And we get to try out a bunch of different unique whiskeys. So, Flaviar, when you're looking at your bottom line and you see that you've made a little bit of extra profit at the end of the year, remember us.
Remember, you know,
And
just
send
like
us your next
remember-
box for free, and we'll review it on here. For
Please.
free. Let's go.
Please,
Preferably with one of each tasting.
Yes.
one of each tasting. That would be nice.
That would be
Duplicates, maybe not.
Not so much. Not so much.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
So,
They must be like handmade.
I have to assume that there's some kind of human error that could be possibly
Oh,
put into this.
100%.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
there's
Someone
no
grabbed.
way they're doing those automatic. I
No.
can't imagine they have enough clientele to have a factory for that yet.
I don't think that there's a machine that could like do that. I mean, like, I'm sure there is, but like the amount of customization that would have to go into that to make sure, one, it's going into the foam insert and it's going at the right place, at the right pressure and everything. I think that's what 24 autonomous arms probably placing it in that at the same time, or a conveyor that's
Yeah.
working on multiple axes, moving it for one arm. That's just no.
Yeah, that'd be a lot. I imagine there's a team of people that are doing it manually when
You
that's
you just need to talk to my wife because that's what she used to do.
Shit.
She used to.
Ash, sound off in the chat. How feasible is what we just talked about? Like, what kind of like cost are we talking if we want to go ahead and get an assembly line of machines putting together Flaviar boxes? Oh, gentlemen,
while
this
she's
was
running the
tasty.
numbers. Good whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Who here has played anything outside of our regular game that we're probably going to talk about?
Guys, I haven't been able to play anything.
Anything.
It feels really bad. Like, I wish I was able to say that like I had time to play other games, because I wanted to play Raven Watch for like the longest time. I was like, dude, this is gonna be the shit. And
Agreed.
then
Agreed.
the freaking weekend happened. I was supposed to go see Childish Gambino yesterday, and that was gonna take up all my Sunday time. But instead of my Sunday time being taken up, I spent it working.
Oh.
And also not going to see Childish Gambino because he's not feeling well. So if
Oh.
you're watching this Childish Gambino, which of course you are,
Yeah.
just know I'm looking out for you, man. I want to make sure that you're feeling good. I hope that everything works out, because honestly, I would feel really bad if after all of this waiting and after all of this plans, he's like, he gets sick because he comes to Houston, you know?
Yeah.
So I spent all of Sunday doing absolutely nothing but working, and then I ate some food that my wife cooked, and that's it. I did nothing else.
Oh.
It was unfortunate. So I didn't do anything. I didn't play anything. I spent a lot of time doing absolutely fuck all.
I think I'm in a similar boat. I mean, I've played WoW, but like only in the sense that I've done world quests and like gathering here and there. I haven't like I don't remember when, but at some point I finished not the campaign, but the pre-80 campaign.
Okay.
And
I was
I've
about to ask
unlocked
that.
the level 80 stuff, but I haven't even started the level 80 stuff.
There you go.
So I'm looking forward
Okay.
to doing it.
Dad,
But
have you finished the campaign?
No.
Okay, so I can't talk because I finished the campaign, and
So-
I was interested in talking about the story as a whole.
So
But
I've watched a few videos, and I don't feel like I'm gonna be missing out on anything. I think I have a general gist of what's going to happen, like, or what was intended to happen with
I have no idea what's gonna
Xal'atath.
happen. I have no
Xal'atath.
idea.
I will say, without spoiling anything, that I am interested to see where they go, but I do feel like, in my opinion, one thing that the campaign falls short on is that it actually felt too complete.
How so?
Like, I got to the end of the campaign and I was like, wait, but what are you gonna do?
But like, what
Like-
do you mean, though?
Like, the campaign feels like the story that they have built up for the quests that we've all done. A lot of it has really just been resolved to
That's
some
the-
degree.
Oh,
called
I see what you
respect.
mean.
Respecting
Respect for our
others.
time.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. And I like it to that degree, but it did leave me in a limbo state of being like, okay, but where's the story gonna go? Like, what's gonna happen next in season 1? What's gonna happen next in this? Like, it feels
Just wait.
exactly. I am sure they're gonna do stuff. I understand.
I really hope that you're
how the
not just
story is.
saying that like you wish there was a cliffhanger.
I wish that I had from a story perspective, I wish I had something to look forward to.
See, I fundamentally disagree with that. Especially because we've been rewatching an old show called Smallville, where
Oh, dude.
they are horrible with like, oh, who's dead at the end of the season? Like everybody's dead, you know, or something
Nobody's
like that.
ever dead.
Of course,
in Smallville,
but they do
yeah.
insane cliffhangers, which is so disrespectful to the audience. And it
Well-
is much better writing to have little things that maybe people picked up on that haven't been resolved, but don't necessarily need to be resolved for you to be like, oh, chapter complete. Like,
And here's the thing. I agree with that. I don't want a cliffhanger like a Smallville cliffhanger. That's not what I want. I honestly think the story could have stayed exactly the same, and they could have added one additional scene that essentially said, like, I'm still here and shit'll go down
But
at some point. Like, it
Eric-
didn't even have to be a cliffhanger from like like crazy stuff. Like, we know what's happening. They just kind of like end it and then like move on, everything resolved, and you feel kind of weird. And then like the little follow-up stuff you do to the campaign really just does this
Not even complete
leave you
groundwork.
in limbo state of like every character then kind of talks about it like the entire story's over. Like, it really doesn't feel like a chapter ended. It felt like, the story's complete. And every character's like, my story is complete. And this character does it too. And so afterwards,
my story is complete too. Mine
Yeah.
too.
yeah. And so I didn't want a cliffhanger. I just wanted to, like, it didn't. We know that chapter 1 is complete.
Yes.
They didn't need to do the extra, like, 15 miles of being like, everything's complete, which is what it feels like at the end. Not inherently bad. Nothing's bad about that. It has a weird feeling that I imagine they're going to fix in, like, season 1 or season 2.
I was gonna say I have a feeling that there's gonna be a lot of stuff that they're gonna be dropping.
Yeah. Like, I'm
I have
not
a
worried
feeling.
about it.
I have a
It's just a weird
feeling
feeling.
that I'm gonna go and watch it, or I'm gonna go and play it, and then I'm gonna come back next week and be like, oh my god, okay, this is one of the classic cases where Eric was going so fast he missed this. Bro, this is what's happening next. Because you've done that so many times.
Nah, but not in this case. I've watched all the videos. I've read all this stuff multiple times. I've already done all my lore, like 4-hour lore dives. I've been putting on lore videos on the
He's
side.
put in work, Anthony.
Like,
He's done what he's supposed to do.
I know about the like all the little details now, like all the stuff that wasn't even in the main quest that were in side quests that I didn't even do. Like lore and WoW is my jam.
Is
And-
it though?
So at some point I'm gonna learn all of it. But
Are you?
I mean,
I
probably
would.
not.
Honestly, there's a lot of stuff in this game that I'm like, I don't need to know all of this.
Now I would say if what's her name, I wish what's her name was still an author, Christina Golden.
Why?
God.
She was my favorite author. I
Yeah,
read
but she
all of her
sucks at
WoW books.
audiobook.
She does.
Oh,
It is. The way she speaks when she's reading the
Yeah.
book is
I don't-
so
did
dull.
she
like
do
her
the
audiobook.
audiobook for World of Warcraft, or did she do an audiobook for like another
She
series?
wrote a
Like,
book
what's the-
and did the audiobook for
Yeah.
hers.
Oh.
And the way she reads is so slow. Like
Yeah.
we used to listen to them while like falling asleep, and usually you can make it to about 15 minutes, which is about how long it takes someone to fall asleep. With her,
Usually.
you fall asleep in 60 seconds. Like
Yeah.
thank you helping me fall asleep, but also like I have no idea what happened. You can't
Yeah.
make it through the book. Oh my
But
gosh.
I do love. I read all her books manually when she was still a big writer.
Oh my
for
God.
Warcraft.
I
She
like-
obviously hasn't. Her last one I think was in like 2022, and then she since left the writing team, so she's not working I think at Blizzard anymore. But
Awkward.
back when she was still writing, I had read almost all of her World of Warcraft books.
I like Ash's new theory. They're pretending that everything is great, and then everyone dies in the next chapter, and Azeroth explodes. We go back in time to save it. So classic WoW is the next expansion.
Oh my gosh! Please no.
We start over.
There are two
I mean,
things that
World
I
of
hope
Warcraft
for.
2, we know that's coming eventually. But go ahead, Eric.
I was gonna say, they have introduced this idea, and it's been multiple times, but I love that they're doing more about it. And I want us to have a raid mechanic that delves into this more. The darkness mechanic for the kobolds. Phenomenal. The best thing in this expansion by far, in my opinion. I love this idea.
Like
I
the
want to
stealth
see
aspect of it?
raids. Not even the stealth aspect of it, but the fact that it feels like an additional resource that everybody has and has to manage. And that's going to be so interesting a mechanic inside of a raid of fighting a dark being like you do in the Kobold Mines, and having to have people manage the candle and not let the candle go out. That's cool. I want more of that. And that
a cool
lore
mechanic,
has been
yeah.
embedded inside of WoW for so long. We've been hearing, don't
touch my candle. Don't touch
you
my
know,
candle.
for
Yeah.
so long, and now we have some background to it. We have these cool little tidbits of the, the Kobold King and these politics there, that and the fact that that darkness, we didn't kill it in that delve, right? I
No,
want
it's
to
still
see,
around, yeah.
I want to see raids around that, and raids where that becomes a thing, where what's her Zalatoth and all that goes in and starts using the darkness and stuff like that. I want to see raid mechanics behind that. That's such a cool idea.
Because I haven't finished the campaign, I don't think I've done that delve in particular. So
You should have. That's
Did I?
before the
I have not.
spider.
You're not required to do delves. Delves are
yeah,
optional.
you're not required. Yeah, that quest, the option. I haven't gotten to the optional grind yet.
That's
I'm just trying to
a-
finish the.
Oh
That's
no,
a
there
quest
is
that you
a there's a
do
quest
inside of the
delve
Kobold.
with Cobalt stuff.
Yeah.
I've done it, but
Oh wait, yeah, I have done that.
I have this
have done that
problem
one.
where if I'm doing storyline quests, I can mostly keep up with what's going on, but once I go into a dungeon,
But I killed the king, right?
I don't know what's
Yeah,
happening.
yeah. But
Yeah.
right after you deal with that, the darkness chases you out, and you do this like little mini game where you have to keep the candle lit.
I
the
did
demon.
not. Wait.
That didn't happen to me. It was poison.
That didn't happen to me either, and it wasn't. So I think Eric, I think there is a different story for
Yeah.
each modifier on the delves.
Maybe.
So, I've been playing real life World of Warcraft because
Which is
my wife wanted this, which is a like
Summoning Stone.
A summoning stone.
Hearthstone here.
Uh-huh.
This
Hearthstone.
one
Oh, a Hearthstone,
you can't
yeah.
see the blue thanks to my background, but it glows. It actually looks kind of like that.
Oh.
But it glows in the dark and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's like a rocky texture. It feels like a rock. It's actually kind of hefty. This was not hard to do. But then after we did this, my wife requested a keycap,
Oh, a keycap,
which is much
Oh,
smaller.
dude.
And
Dude.
didn't realize that when you shrink things down, it gets way more complicated. So after like 50 tries and errors, made this.
Incredible.
Oh wow.
Did you
Nice.
get it to actually fit the keys? Oh wow.
Yeah, I just pulled this off my keyboard to show you guys. So I got two of them, one for me and one for my wife. So now I got one of those.
You have
sitting.
the patience of a saint, Anthony, because
It was-
I have seen what it takes to get into like doing keycaps.
Yeah. So it was really
Nah,
it was a problem solving. It was almost like solving a puzzle, right? Because you go to print it, and then things start to fail. And it's like, okay, why did that fail? Okay, adjust this. Does it still fail that way? No, but now it fails in this way. Okay, adjust that. Like, and just constant trial and
going,
error.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh,
No, I will
and
say,
I
Anthony,
shrunk this to use as a like a I can't remember what you call it, but I was flushing into it. So there's a tiny baby little one. But it's on cooldown. That's why it's not as blue. Yeah.
see.
That's how that works, obviously.
So
What were you gonna say, Eric?
I was gonna say, have you done
Oh.
one of the comprehensive stress, like extreme tests? yet
No.
For your printer?
No.
I would say it's worthwhile to do because it'll give you the
calibration.
thresholds of each of those values, because some of them are actually designed to show you like, oh,
Well, so
how
the
much
tricky bit-
skipping you need, or how much it'll pull back to cool the filament overhang, the difference. Like, it tests a
Yeah.
lot more than you think it would.
Yeah.
And then you can write all those down.
Well, so two things. One, here's a Hearthstone squishy stress ball that you can buy from World of Warcraft for comparison.
No, I refuse.
But the thing about my printer is, if you go and buy a bamboo printer nowadays, and you only ever use bamboo stuff, like they have settings for other manufacturers of plastic, a filament, that's what it's called, and so you can't have really good luck with that. And we've had no problems with the blue that you see here is a glow from Overture. And it's a basic PLA, but it's a glow. And with the Overture basic setting in bamboo, no problems with that one. This is a rock PLA. It has little,
rock?
yes,
It has
has
rock particles. in it.
literally particles in it. When you feel it, it feels like a smooth, like rained on rock. Like this feels like a real rock in my hand right now. It's really cool. But that causes some serious differences that have to be adjusted for. And yeah, Eric, you're right. If I would have done a certain test, I probably could have found the right values without just trial and error. But I went the trial and error method because I was trying to be faster.
You are a sociopath.
Well, sometimes it's faster.
So this right here
Oh yeah.
is kind of similar, except, and it's the hardest thing I've ever tried to print on. It's the same concept, but with wood.
Yeah, those look so
it's,
cool.
It's wood filament.
Wood
I printed
filament.
a thing in it.
How's it
And
dark?
there's little wood particles in it, and you can buy like oak or whatever particle board.
Does it actually smell like the wood?
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's so
Yeah.
cool, dude.
It feels like wood. It has like a wooden feeling to it. And so I printed off. I have a game called Ruins of Arnok. It's one of my favorite board games. And I printed off the board game insert in the wood filament because it's all ruins and exploration based. And one of the things I found like had all of these cool inserts for it.
Yeah.
But the one problem you run into with this one, the wood can actually burn while it's going through the filament or the nose.
So it has to be at a low temperature, which causes all sorts of.
Well, and then it gets stuck more, and the wood,
Yeah.
no matter what you do, the wood particles start to like stay in the nozzle just a little bit.
Dude,
And
that's
so
just
every
fun.
now and then I have to like run a different type of filament in there that's super sticky that gets all
Pulls
the
all
gunk
of the
out.
wood out. Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, so like, is there a nozzle that is effectively like made for that?
Well, yeah.
material?
So, like, the people that sell this one, Overture, on their website, they say if you have any clogging issues with this, we highly recommend using a 0.6 nozzle, hardened steel, specifically.
Yeah.
And
Eric,
so
for
it-
wood.
it would probably be different.
Yeah. It's going to be different for everything, but there are a few concepts that are just generally applicable, right?
But-
the larger the diameter of the hole in the nozzle, the less it matters if particles stay in the nozzle, and the longer time you have before you
need to
end up
stop.
clogging.
Yeah.
Additionally, the material of the nozzle affects the coefficient of friction and the heating and how much it'll bond with particles inside of the filament. That'll
Gotcha.
determine how many particles stay in the nozzle when it's going through. And essentially, though, even with normal plastic, anything that has like any particles that do not have a melting point that the nozzle gets to will slowly build up in the nozzle over time, and sooner or later will cause a clog, no matter what you do. That's why they recommend
Parts will
you
break.
run. Yeah. So
Breaking
you always
places
have to
will
run
break.
cleaning filament. You always have to do upkeep.
Got it.
Now, I do have to like give huge credit to Bamboo. Like, this is just the first time that I've had something worth talking about. I've printed so many things very successfully, very minor, like maybe blemish or something like that. And that's because most of the stuff I print ends up having really good instructions. I'm using my Bamboo filament, or it comes on Maker World, which is like Bamboo's site where people publish things, and they've tuned it for a Bamboo printer. And so when
It's made
people
specifically, yeah,
and
yeah.
when they've already done the trial and error, they've made sure this is going to work, so you have a
Yeah.
really high chance of things working. This one worked really well because there was, I can't remember where it was from, but it might have been from Maker World. Now, the reason that the keycap was so hard was it was only geometric data. There were no instructions. There were no comments. No one has been like, I successfully
Nobody's told
printed
you,
this.
hey, set it for this. Go ahead and make
Yeah.
sure that you're putting it at this nozzle temperature,
Yeah.
this speed, at this detail to make sure that you're not running into any issues. Yeah,
And you
Yeah.
have to remember, the minute you scale something down and the nozzle is
you're
smaller,
running into such shit.
well, you have all those other issues that I talked about are amplified, And especially
yeah.
if you're doing it with like a rock filament or a wood filament, the
Even
smaller
worse.
that nozzle is, the less time you have in general. Like with that wood filament, with this the printer that I have, with the heat it gets up to, with all the things going, there is no way for me to prevent clogging. It
Yeah.
will clog at some point.
Dude, and there's like there's something magical about this filament because there is not like the layer lines that you're used to. This face is smooth without me doing anything. It like
cool.
perfectly melted together.
That's cool. And that also, yeah, that depends on the filament type and of course the bamboo nozzle. Are you running a 0.2?
I'm running a 0.4. That's like the most popular thing nowadays is everyone's
Yeah,
doing 0.4.
0.4.
I
Yeah, that's what I
did
do too.
initially try to do 0.2 for the keycap because like, well, it's a keycap, it's small, I want to get as much detail as possible. That was terrible for this rock filament. Absolutely
I was about to
terrible.
say, once you get to a certain size, like the wood filament, for example, I can't even
Can't.
print it at 0.2. I actually try to, I have a 0.6 nozzle that I started using for the wood filament because I was just tired of having to print one piece at a time because I figured out that no matter what I do at about the 14-hour mark,
It's over.
it's gonna clog and there's nothing I can do about it. Then I'm gonna have to
Wow.
restart the print. So I was like, all my prints have to be under 14 hours, and doing it at 0.4 would allow me to print one of each piece in 8 hours. So that meant doing 2 of them was 16 hours,
Jesus.
which was over the thing. So almost always my print would fail like right before it got done, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. Moving to a 0.6 nozzle allowed me to do 2 pieces before it
Incredible.
hey, but that doubles your production time, you know?
We'll
right?
take it. We'll take it.
But yeah, just for there's a lot of people I'm sure out there like me who have wanted to do 3D printing for a long time, but you're just like, I've heard a lot of
Where do I
stories.
start?
It's a lot of work. I don't think I should get into this. Get a bamboo and it's no
Yeah.
work at all. Get a
Yeah,
bamboo,
the
stick with the bamboo
bamboo's
filament.
Guys,
It's like using a normal 2D printer on paper.
I need
that
you
easy.
to realize how absurdly nice one that bamboo printers are, but also the price tag
Bro,
is a bit
no,
inclusive.
that's not true. That's not true.
The price tag
Dude,
is a
a
bit
normal printer
inclusive.
is like $200.
Correct.
So you can print in 3D instead of on paper for 2.5 times that price. 500 bucks.
Here is my
5
argument, Nat.
times.
Here
Yeah.
is my
That's the
argument.
same price
Nat.
as a PS5.
No, wait, because I'm about to blow it out of the water.
Uh-huh.
It's
They
not that
just
expensive.
released the A1.
Oh yeah, look at the
Which
A1
is-
Mini.
You were
Which
talking.
is-
You can get a bamboo printer that's really nice
It is
for $340.
$340. That's less than an Xbox.
There,
That is less than a PS5.
there are printers in 2D that are more expensive than that.
Insane.
Now,
Never been a better
obviously-
time.
And here's the thing: Anthony was talking about the Mini. The Mini has far less practical use cases, in my opinion. So I probably wouldn't recommend it. For
Dude,
most people.
I have seen someone print with an A1 Mini with it mounted upside down, like at a 45-degree angle,
Yeah.
and it
It's
prints.
crazy. It's crazy.
Like it's printing like this way. Like
that printer, $200.
No.
Yeah, $200 for that printer.
No.
Yeah.
I can't believe you.
Look, oh look. An
dude, I've
A1
printed
Mini.
so many
Hold
useful
on,
things,
give me
like
a
not just
second.
fun
Let me
things.
go ahead and look at this.
Like if y'all
Now,
can see, I've got like a
obviously-
phone mount.
Your print plate is so small at that point. Not saying you can't use that, but you might
You would be
have to
surprised
come up
though.
with some
You would
creative
be
use cases.
no. You would be so surprised when I go and look at a Maker World thing for a bamboo printer. There's almost always an A1 Mini option
Oh,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And also, they very often are initially A1 Mini. They're not initially the
well-
big ones.
And here's the thing: if you do it on a Mini, it's like you are not limited in size by the Mini. You're limited by time because you can always build pieces in pieces, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't. like hinder you in your ability to do something. It just hinders you in your time to do something. For somebody who could print it all on one base plate, you may have to do 4 separate prints on the A1 Mini.
This is crazy. The A1 Mini does multicolor
Yeah.
Bro.
with the
Yeah.
AMS light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I'm not so surprised with the multicolor features because I feel like that's become more commonplace with the more premium models. What I'm looking for right at this point is like, what is going to actually pull me from? Because I have 2 3D printers. One of them was given to me. It's an Ender 3.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like I got it for free pretty much because as the tech of a school, I was told, hey, I have this, I never use it, would you like to have it? And I was like, sure, why not? It's an Ender 3. It's not the magnetic base where you can kind of like easily replace it or anything. And then I also have a resin based printer, but I don't have any use case for them.
So I have this problem too, and I'll talk about it a little bit. 'cause
Okay.
I have so
Okay.
many use cases.
Then you can have
and
them,
here's
Anthony.
here's the thing. Anthony
I think
has become a
You know-
farmer,
I'll,
and
There's a lot of
because
use
of
cases
that-
for farm. Yes.
I haven't used it for farming yet.
but my corollary there is, as your level of I need to do handiwork increases, and the level at which your organization of said handiwork tools increases, then it is more and more worthwhile to print things to help you. The best thing that you can do on a printer, in my opinion, is organization. Because organization can oftentimes save you time, and ultimately that's what everybody wants, right? Like if you're printing something and it saves you time in the future,
You're gonna
the
do it
printer
again.
is paying for itself in dividends. And every time you save that time, you are it is so apparent. So for example, for me, the biggest use case for 3D printers, board games. Why? Because I do organizers and inserts into my board games. You know what? Every time I want to play Dark Tower, what before the organizer would have taken me 40 minutes to set up, I can set up in 5 minutes tops, right?
Yep.
It
Checks out.
it saves me so much time. Now, every single board game that takes a long time to set up, if there's an insert that'll save me a bunch of time, guess what? I'm immediately turning on my printer again and immediately printing on an insert. I don't care how much upfront work it takes me because my printer isn't nearly as good as the Bamboo printer, right? Like it sometimes it takes me a lot of time to get that insert, but I know at the end of the day that's going to save me a ton of time down the road, right? Now, what if you have toolboxes, drawers, all of these things? Like for example, I have like my drawer of like art supplies and all that kind of stuff that I organize inside of this thing right here. So I have these little organizers for them, right? I bought these before I had a 3D printer, so I have a ton of them. All of my drawers are organized. If I didn't pay a bunch of money buying hundreds of organizers, I would have used something like Gridfinity or
So-
something like that to organize all my stuff.
So here's a few examples, and maybe one of these is an organizational thing in a way, or maybe two. But so some of the recent things I've made, I have 2 things attached to my desk, screwed in from the bottom. One is a MagSafe phone charger holder. The other is for my Apple Watch, so now they can just sit here and be good. Another one is a fruit fly trap, which is pretty cool. One
Pretty good.
is a request of my wife. It's a duck soap
Doke.
dish. Doke, yeah. So it's a little ducky that you can put soap in, and then it like water comes out of its mouth and like spits water into the sink.
It's ridiculous, but okay.
I have a pop can rack, so soda cans. You put them on the thing in the fridge, and they rotate through. So that's kind of organizational, but like super useful to increase space to the fridge. The best thing, in my opinion, for me at least, is last minute gifts, because so bad. Oh, it's someone's birthday. Okay, just made my father-in-law a articulating like Asian Chinese dragon that glows and is inside of a multicolored egg. So he opens it up and boom, awesome. Like he likes dragons, so that's cool. Yeah. And so it's just like it's cool stuff like that. And now when I print things that are multicolored, I'm going to be using this cool project called the Purge Waste Table. So instead of pooping out all of the filament when it's switching between them and just throwing it away, it's going to print all that filament into the parts that slot together to create a full table, like an IKEA lack table and stuff like that. So those are just like a few examples.
Let me for you, Nat, there are two things where I think it would be immediately applicable. Three things that where it would be immediately applicable for you and your wife.
Okay.
One, cable management.
Yeah.
Music cables, other cables, things like that. There are literally tens, if not 100,000 plus 3D printed ideas for cable management of every type of cable you can think of. Music, computer, whatever you want, right? I have a pegboard in here where I can 3D print things to go inside that pegboard for specific types of cables.
Yeah.
Two, gardening.
Ah, shit. Yeah.
There are so many self-watering vases where you can put water in one side and it'll slowly let water into the other side over the course of a week, right? Just because the plant slowly lets it eat water from the other side. There are different types of plant decorations. There are plant stands. You can do indoor herb gardens inside of like things you can 3D print. They have entire systems for gardening, outdoor pots, indoor pots, all that kind of stuff. Three, I could not tell you how many 3D
Fidget
printed
toys
tools there are or hair accessories that might make Mel's life infinitely easier.
Yeah.
For organization, for all kinds of stuff that she may be able to use it for being able to tell sizes on different things, all kinds of stuff.
So what you're saying is,
Or fidget toys.
Or fidget toys.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Of
there's
course.
always the fun stuff too. But like, I think the way that I would think about 3D printing for most people, for the general audience, to be like,
'Cause
are
I'm-
you thinking
I
about
am
getting
the
a
general
3D printer?
populace.
Right?
Yeah.
You should look at places where you feel like you waste time the most. Then you should take those places and see if a 3D printer
Honestly,
has something
though,
that it can do to save you that time.
there's a thing, in my opinion, that happened to me, which was, so the initial reason we got the 3D printer was to make an attachment for this floor unit AC unit for this tiny ass window, because I couldn't use the stuff that came with it. Huge, awesome, improved my life a lot. Well worth
Home
it.
development is huge, by the way.
But
you can
Home
3D
development
print
is huge.
I-
Yeah.
so many things for that.
I think it's just like thinking with portals. Once you start making stuff with 3D printers, you start being like, oh, I could print something for that. Oh, this thing broke on my car. I could print something for that will let me use the car for a few days until I get a real part.
But see, I 100% agree with that. I just think that isn't always immediately grabbable by somebody who doesn't already own a 3D printer. For me and you, now that we have one, I'm on board with you, right? Like that makes sense. But I think for people who don't have it yet,
Well, that's
It's
what I'm
hard.
getting
you
at.
need to
You just like
find
you
something
can't.
in your life that you need. So for example,
initial
you had
reason.
an initial reason where you were like, I'm either going to spend this money to fix this,
Yeah.
or I could buy a 3D printer and I could fix this and do whatever else I want to with the 3D printer, right? People
Oh,
need that initial
here's
push
another one.
to get into it.
We have an electric car, and the house we bought came with an electric car charger, but it doesn't fit our car, so we always have to use an adapter. Now, instead of plugging it in, now we can't just hang it like it's going into the thing at the gas station. You know, it can't just sit there because we have the adapter on. We don't want to take the adapter off every time and then potentially forget to grab it and stuff like that. So we just leave it and we'd hang it. I 3D printed a thing that will let us hang it while it's attached, which was like specific, because there's others that people have for, oh, you take the attachment off, you put it there, and you put this here. It's like, no, keep them together, plug it in there, done. And that has been just awesome, and it's just like a tiny little life improvement, but huge, super helpful.
Anytime you're doing a home improvement or life improvement type of project, and you go into Amazon or you go onto Google and you're like, hey, I need something that's like this, or you're researching something for the home and you're like, I need something that holds this or does that, and you find it, 95% of the time with a 3D printer, you can save yourself 20 upwards of $150 by being able to just 3D print something. I could not tell you how expensive some things are for just daily house electrical type of work. That's absolutely egregious how expensive it is when I can 3D print it for $5.
Yeah, one of the biggest things is mounts, like stands for one wheels.
Stand or mount, yeah.
Like, oh, I'm just gonna print a one wheel stand.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to buy a wall mount for my guitar. Actually, I could just print a wall mount for my guitar.
Not only can you print it, you can
I made shelves with
make it
3D
however
printing.
you want.
You could probably also make the screws for it, but I would probably not do that.
So screws are actually good to do as long as you aren't doing weight bearing screws. But if they're
not for a
Not
guitar.
mounting on the wall.
not for mounting on a wall.
Yeah, but you just use a wood screw or a drywall mount through your 3D printed stuff, and it works great.
But for example, I've 3D printed like little things to hang like pictures with. You can do really easily. So as long as they're not load bearing,
You're fine.
you can do that, right? So
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know how difficult your printers are to work with.
The thing is, I have a lot of experience with 3D printing with a what was it? A Creality? No. What is
Really?
it? Oh my God.
Ender
It was
Reality, Ender Create.
No. It
Prusa.
was not Prusa. God, it was a big white mofo. Jesus, I forget. But they bought it for the schools that we were acting as techs for whenever they bought the lab.
yeah.
And the printers were pretty high. End.
I
and
will
so
say you
spent
have
a lot of time
the
in there.
Ender 3, right?
I have the Ender 3.
The Ender
I think
3
it's the base.
is still amazing, and it's
it's great.
To
It's
be
modular.
fair, like the bamboo is obviously just fantastic out of the box.
Yeah.
But you can upgrade parts on the Ender 3 to make it almost as good as the bamboo. It just takes a lot of work to get there, but it can be done. Like that's one of our friends. He still runs off of an Ender 3. He's upgraded it, and it can outperform most bamboos. Right.
See, the thing is, here's what I'm wanting to do, because right now for printing, the aesthetic for me is very important. And I have seen people print things that are like really cool. Like there was a somebody had built a modular secondary screen for their Mac Pro, and like they slotted it in the Mac Pro into the base, and then they put a screen into the pressable.
Yeah.
Sorry, into the screen socket, and you could press the screen socket button, and it would pop the screen back out.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ooh, that's really cool." And then the printer was like an all-white piece. It was like super nice, and I was like, "What is that?" And that's kind of what got me into printing in the first place. But I just don't see it being like something I get into unless there's like a big ask that I'm looking for printing. If that makes any sense. I have the materials. I have the knowledge for it. I'm not like a complete layman to it, but
You know when you
in the
might
time
need
what?
horizontal racks for bottles of alcohol.
Oh,
I've seen ones for wine, but if you need to,
Was,
if you need to start going up.
I might.
I was
We'll
about to
see.
say, really, if you're even slightly interested in getting back into it, the way I would say to treat it is the next time you think about buying something,
Think about if you could print it.
look
Yeah.
up whether you can print it or not. And if you
Yeah.
can't, awesome. Just don't worry about it. Go buy it.
I
The
don't
next
think I
time
can-
you
I don't
go
think
and
I
think
can
about
do
buying
anything.
something,
Yeah.
see if you can print it. If you can't, that's fine. Go and buy. Right? Like make that decision. And what's going to happen is sooner or later you're going to run into a problem. You're going to be like, oh, I need to buy this thing. And then if you ask yourself, can I print this thing? And you're like, yes. And then you're like, but I like the one that oh my gosh, I'm buying this for 180 bucks.
Yes.
I'm going to print this instead, right? Like sooner or later, you're going to run into a problem where that happens,
Yeah.
right? Like, for example, board game inserts
Dude.
can cost upwards of 80 to 160 bucks
Fuck me.
for a good. I can print one for $2 of material. Like,
Absolutely
if
insane.
I had bought every single insert that I have for a board game in my basement right now, that I have inserts for, I would have paid $10,000+ on inserts.
Niet.
I have saved this printer has paid for itself in dividends just off of my main use case.
Yeah, I'm so glad we had this conversation because I literally just last night added some stuff to my Amazon cart so I wouldn't forget to buy it. It's like, oh wait,
I could print all this.
yeah, duh.
See?
Like, if you already have a
not
printer,
crazy.
that's the easiest thing to do. Just every time you're going to buy something,
I need to do a lot of
like,
wire management.
can I
so
print stuff?
I will.
Wire management, they have so many options.
So I just sent the best website, things.com.
Things.
Yeah, it's in the chat. THANGS.com. It searches all of the printer
yeah.
3D printing
Feature
websites
designer for Titan Forge.
and finds you them from everywhere. MakerWorld, Prusa, Thingiverse, they're all. It's like a
They're all
good
there.
search engine for 3D printing.
All right.
It's great.
All right. I will let you know if I actually break this thing back open and start trying to
Yeah.
print through this, because I haven't printed through the Ender yet, to be
Yeah.
totally honest.
I mean, if you already have it. really.
Ender is very popular. There's
The
got to be a
Ender
lot of
is
fruit
like
out there.
it was like the #1 before Bamboo.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it even with the Bamboo out, by the way, like I was saying, Ender 3 is and the Creality system and all that, they're one of the most upgradable systems on the market. You
Yeah.
can't really upgrade the Bamboo.
You can print
upgrade
the
Ender
upgrades.
3.
Why would you need to upgrade the Bamboo though?
That's fair, but you
The
can
only
theoretically make the Ender 3 as good as physically possible
there
in the market.
there is a Bamboo, the P1P that they make for people that want the most bare bones unit that they can upgrade and customize to their own liking. So that
Interesting.
that is a thing.
Interesting.
But honestly, it's because the market is so volatile still that they're coming out with new engines, new bands, new they have rotary engines that can spin so fast, and you can build a 3D printer that is better than anyone that you can buy out of box.
And see, since we're all gonna go to what is it, that con in San Antonio,
Oh yeah.
we got a 3D print some armor or something. I don't know, like a shoulder plate, or a mask or something. You know,
Some kind of nomenclature.
3D
that
print
we
some
are
sort of,
the same kind.
yeah. A
Oh
little.
my god.
Oh, you know what we should do?
Hmm?
Oh my gosh, we should actually do this. We should 3D print coasters with the Tap Haven logo on one side and a QR code that scans to our YouTube on the back.
Oh shit.
Oh, there
And
you
have a
go.
bunch of them in our bag, and we can be like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we do a podcast," and then they're like, "Oh, where is it?" We just give them a coaster.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's
Somebody's gotta
it.
carry
That
the
is something we
coasters.
should actually do. I'm down for that.
You remind me of one of the wildest things that I've seen has come out from the multicolor printing, is people are just printing like art, just posters.
Oh,
Like
yeah, yeah.
somewhat
believe
3D, but mostly 2D
It's
works
gotta be
of
so much material though.
it is. Well,
It
I mean,
is.
maybe not if it's only a few layers.
Still,
I don't really know.
still.
It is interesting though.
This multi-point is everywhere. What the
Printed
fuck?
my sister a mandala that has the glow in the dark filament in it. It's a butterfly.
Gentlemen, I will look
cool.
at this later.
It's cool.
It is definitely a hole that I will fall down.
It is a hole to fall down.
Yes.
Yeah,
Anybody
but
else got
going.
anything?
I guess with the to kind of like put a bow on the World of Warcraft talk, because yeah, it's pretty much been the like finishing the campaign for me, and then doing some more of those dungeons.
Raid comes out tomorrow. I'm not ready
Yep.
for it.
I'm
The
not
raid
ready
comes out
either.
tomorrow. I don't think I'm high enough eye level either. I haven't been like I've done a bunch of the heroics, but I've just had really crappy luck. with
Wow,
all those.
Eric,
See-
you've been doing a lot of the heroics, and you've been playing a lot more. It's great. It's super great.
Mostly I just had like 2 or 3 different nights where I was able to play like
Gotcha.
4 hours after that, and I tried to do a bunch of the content and tried to just get stuff. But I've actually just had terrible loot drops for all of my. Anytime I like got a piece of loot, it was like something that I already
It
had
was the
something
worst.
better for, or
Yeah.
something that I had like. And I was just like, that's unfortunate. So I haven't really been able to upgrade my eye level too much. I think I'm at like 578 or something like that.
That's fair.
See, the
I
funny
have a
thing is,
feeling that go ahead.
oh, Eric and I have such different approaches to this game. Like, I'm an alcoholic, and I'm all about the immersion. Like, yeah, the raids and the dungeons are there. I'll do them someday, but like, I just want to level up my druid, and then I want to unlock the what are they called? The earthen, and I want to convert my paladin to an earthen, and have my first like real dwarf looking dude, and that would be awesome. Like, that's all I really care about.
Y'all
I
know
think
what
that's
I'm
entirely fair.
Y'all
But
know
I
what
think
I care about.
yeah.
Y'all know what I care about.
Tanking.
No, not even tanking. You guys know what I care about. I'm here for that fat loot.
Oh yeah.
I'm here for shiny shit.
For me, I think I said this in a recent podcast, but like World of Warcraft has my favorite mechanic out of any game, and it's the only game to have it. And unfortunately, unfortunately, there is a minimum viable eye level you need to be able to engage with that mechanic, which I hate all of that.
unfortunate.
I don't want to do all of that.
But you got it.
I would rather just go be like, I did the main story quest, now I'm gonna wait for the raid, and then I'll do the raid when it comes out and I'm done. But that isn't a thing, right? You have
Well, there's
to have a
LFR.
minimum- Well, no. But even that has a minimum eye level requirement.
Yeah, you have to be like a certain level.
And the
before they
LFR
let you
doesn't
into
come out
LFRs.
for another like 2 weeks. or
Right,
something like
right,
that.
right.
So if you want to do the raid this week, you have to have
a
like
raid.
Yeah.
the eye level for it.
Yeah.
And so, and like, because that's the mechanic I love the most, and wow, it's like, I'm shoehorned into an experience.
You
that-
sound so upset about it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I do not. Here's the thing. I will say, I do not enjoy the Mythic plus Mythic dungeon stuff, because if you're not in a pre-made group, everybody's just trying to speed through it as quickly as possible. They're doing
Yeah.
stupid stuff. They don't care about like win. It's like they're like, I
They're
need
in
to
it to
finish
win
this
it.
dungeon
And
in
if
5
it's
minutes
too-
or less.
Yeah.
If it's anything slower than that, then
I'm outta here.
I'm out of here. I hate life. I'm gonna rage at all the other people in the group.
Oh yeah, I blocked someone the other day in a world quest. Like, we had a world quest group, and the thing's over, and they say useless group, and I was like, all right,
Bro, shut the
blocked.
fuck
Like, I never want to
Jesus
play with that type of
Christ.
person again.
Like, see, and it's just that is everything below heroic rating. Like,
God,
that's the
wow.
experience for everything below heroic rating. And I'm just like,
I'm not
I
here
don't
for it.
want to grind to get to heroic rating with that kind of content. Like, it's not
That's
fun.
fair. That's fair.
It's not enjoyable. So I'm doing these heroics, and I'm like, man, this dungeon is so interesting if we were doing it at Mythic with a fun group that was actually here to try and solve this as a thing, but that is not the experience that you get typically anymore.
So wait, so Anthony, are we competing against being tanks now?
Nope.
Is that the situation, or am I still tank?
No, it's the new meta: 2 tanks, 1 healer.
Fair enough.
To be fair, I think we could 3-man just about any heroic I've done.
That's fair. It would take longer, but
It would take longer,
yeah.
but it would definitely be.
No, like if my druid is high enough level, I'll just play my druid.
Fair. Boomy?
Like I've been playing him as a guardian right now, but I like the. Is it Boomy? Is that the ranged DPS?
Boomkin? Yeah.
Boomkin. Yeah.
Yeah. See, the thing I like about having a ranged DPS is I can see what's going on instead of staring at the big
Boss.
front end of
And
a
your
boss.
health, and your health, and going, oh god, why is it
Yeah.
going down so fast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ash said she can poke things for us in the background.
God,
Nice.
the panic that I have when I look at, like, whenever I think about taking again. Ugh. I think
man.
I think it's the reason why I haven't joined like LFG yet. I think
Yeah.
I'm like part of me is like, I think we're
Have you
gonna
done-
have to do this with some friends first.
Have you done
Just
any
do it with
follower
us.
dungeons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
The,
That should be okay.
This game has always had this problem. To be fair, like for anybody that's like listening, is like, dude, duh, like this has always been a thing. Like it has,
Yeah.
except that previously there was one difficulty for dungeons.
Oh,
And when there was one difficulty for dungeons, dungeons were as hard as they were, and they were a slow, methodical experience where you had to work
You had time,
through
and you had to
that
think.
dungeon.
Yeah.
You were socializing, you were enjoying the content. The boss fights were much slower and the like longer. You got to enjoy the fight. Now it is race to the end
Race
of the
to the end.
dungeon because this content is super easy, right? So there's no time to waste. We're gonna pull every mob because we aren't here for this experience
It's
because
funny.
it's so overly easy.
It's so easy. Now you can do a follower dungeon, tell the computer to lead the way, and they will show you how to skip
Bro.
different mobs and just go the right way.
When I saw that for the first time, I was like, how
Now,
did
I
we
will
get
say,
here?
I
do
love
like
it
the
from a
follower
I don't
dungeon.
have time perspective though.
For sure.
It's
I love
it's
it
so
from
nice.
not having to deal with people perspective, but
You can
that's me.
really solo the game now.
Yeah.
I do like that because like I've been saying a lot. It's all about the mechanics. It's all about riding the bike. I'm enjoying the game because riding the bike is fun.
I have enjoyed the follower dungeons far more than the dungeons with actual people. And the only reason I'm not still doing them is because
They don't give you raid level.
they
loot.
don't give you loot that will get me into the raid.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the only reason I wouldn't continue.
At least not yet.
At least not yet. Yeah. And like, here's the thing. They're just a more fun experience because
Yeah.
if you let them lead, they're just trying to do the dungeon the way it was designed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And as a healer, I just get to enjoy the dungeon. I heal them the way the dungeon was designed to be healed. Now, arguably, it is super, like, it is brain dead
It is
easy.
so
Dude,
slow. too.
wait, no, I don't know what happened, but I was tanking and we were on a boss. I don't even think it was the last boss. It was like the middle boss, and the whole party died except for me.
geez.
And I hung in there just long enough. It took like another 60 to 1 to 2 minutes to kill this boss, and I didn't die. Like,
Bro.
I was like, what? Why did the computer die? Why did they all
That's
die?
crazy.
I
It's
don't
like
know,
they
dude.
stood in the lava or something. Just
But yeah, it's one of those things that the only downside right now for me in World of Warcraft is that the game is arguably in one of the best states it's been in a long time, but still, some of the mechanics that they have just embedded into the game destroy that experience at some levels.
It bears the scars of everything from
100%.
Cataclysm all the way up to now.
100%. 100%. Like,
Yeah.
I just wish that, like,
I would
they
love to
didn't
be
have
able to
difficulties
actual,
for dungeons. It's
I
so
would
easy to
love
me.
to be able to have to mark the mage.
Yeah.
polymorph. I would love for me to have to go ahead and mark somebody for interrupt.
And right now, you don't have to do that until Mythic +5.
Wow.
Right.
That's
And here's the problem with that. And here's the thing. I would not care if Mythic +5 was actually the first thing that you had to do there. The problem is that you are eye level blocked to get to Mythic +5. So instead of just getting the good experience of that dungeon,
You
it
have
doesn't
to
occur until
grind.
Mythic +5.
Have to
You
grind.
actually have to grind all the shitty versions of that dungeon 100 times
To get up
before
to the
you
5.
get the fun version of that. I'm like,
See-
nah, fuck this. I'm just
see,
done.
Eric.
Heroic rating. That's all I want in this game. It is the best experience. It's so easy.
it's so fun.
It's so fun. I just want to be able to do heroic rating without all the fluff bullshit that they've added. up to
I
that
need
point.
to. I just need to get a better understanding of what my rotation is, and I'd be okay with like rating. I think there is a healthy amount of it that I'm just like, what have you done to my baby? In terms of warrior, but like I also understand like I am very much a creature of
Purist
habit
in that regard.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure. Like whenever, like I remember somebody was telling, like I was raiding in Cataclysm or something. It was like it was Warlords of Draenor, or it was Cataclysm or something like that. And they were like, yeah,
Which
you
were
just,
like the 2 worst rating expansions.
and they were like, yeah, just spam ignore pain. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? And then I pressed the button at max rage, and it doubled my health bar. Like it was my health bar, and then it was that weird checkered blue piece, and it was my health bar again. And I was like, what is this? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, you're set. Like you don't take any damage. I'm like,
I
what?
really like Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Warlords of Draenor are my 3 least favorite expansions from a rating perspective.
insane.
Mists of Pandaria is actually really up there if I just consider the raids, but there were so much other
There was so much bullshit.
there was so
going
much
on
other
with
stuff
that,
wrong
dude.
with that expansion.
Oh, for sure.
Um,
We can get
But
into that
dude,
next
one
time.
of the best things that I've heard the great and powerful Thor talk about is that
Mighty
tanks
Thor.
tanks should never be the raid leader.
No.
You can't see anything.
Yeah.
You're
No.
staring at a giant wall of a boss like all the time. The best
I can see
leader
cases
is
for
like
it.
a healer or a ranged DPS.
It shouldn't-
who can
it shouldn't be
actually
the
see what's
healer, in
going
my
on.
opinion,
Probably a
either.
It should
DPS.
be the healer.
I would
DPS.
say it should be
The mage. A
the
mage.
Yeah.
They have the
It
easiest
should be
time
the
getting
range
around.
mage. Yeah.
Like they have invulnerability. They can actually see what everyone's doing, correct people, tell the tank what to do, tell the healers what to do, whatever.
Hunter's also another good one. Hunter,
Yeah.
mage.
Hunter's good. Mage.
Anything that doesn't have a essentially you never want the raid leader to also be the person who has to deal with the primary mechanic in that fight.
Yeah.
But also
If you mess up, we all die.
so when I was doing mythic raiding for a long time, like when I was actually like the multiple times I've tried to clear content, the best setup is to have a raid leader, an off raid leader, and then a leader of each team. So you have a healer lead, a main tank, and you have a DPS lead. That gives you 5 people max that would ever essentially talk or do call outs during a fight. And when you're talking to your team, those people, their job isn't to actually like do their main mechanic, although they should be good at that. Their
They
main job is to be able to switch between those chats so that they're talking to the correct people.
Yeah.
So that essentially, if I'm doing it right, I'm in the main chat and the healer chat, and the only person talking in our healer chat that nobody else can hear is our heal lead, and it makes it so much better. It like that kills it for like that's the best way to do.
Dude.
Makes it-
Oh no, I messed it up. Dude, sorry, I got so distracted because I've had this fidget
I was
toy
listening, Eric.
for like a month.
No joking.
And I just discovered a new shape, which is like so unlikely because I thought I discovered all the shapes already. I'm so
Well,
sorry.
gentlemen, get to your fidgets and everything, I think I will continue down this road of playing World of Warcraft for a bit, but there is a game that is out right now that we can talk about later, because I don't want to really like bring it up and be
Does
like,
it have anything to
let's
do
go
with
into
Dragon
the
Ball
debate.
Z?
No, it's not.
It's not Wukong?
No, it's not. Oh, you thought I was a Black Myth Wukong kind of guy.
Now,
That's
I was
fair.
gonna say there
That's
are
fair.
3 things that I'm looking forward to,
Okay, go for it.
and we'll see if that overlaps with your game.
Okay, yeah.
One, I really want to play Wukong. It looks really good.
Looks good.
I really want to play Space Marine 2.
There it is.
Love Warhammer. It looks cool.
It looks really good.
I want to play Warhammer.
Thor has been talking
yeah.
a lot of shit about that game. Like, it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to play it. I love Warhammer 40k. I'm in for Space Marine 2. Let's go. The third thing is they just had the old school RuneScape Summer Summit. So
I'll catch you guys next time.
there's a lot of cool stuff coming out, but I won't talk about it too much. But go watch the Summer Summit. There's a lot of cool stuff coming for old
Okay.
school RuneScape that we can
Okay.
dive into when it starts coming out later.
Okay.
But
Okay.
lots of cool stuff on the horizon.
Anthony, anything you excited for on the horizon, buddy? Other than that fidget.
Dude, I'm just excited to play more WoW. Like, WoW is my new fidget toy. I'm trying to basically ignore like Thor and other streamers who professionally play games, so they move
Yeah.
on real quickly. I'm like, okay,
just get through
you've moved
everything.
to a different game. I'm not paying attention. I'm gonna go watch Hippo play Sea of Thieves like he has been for the past like 10 years.
You keep going.
Because I can't play that game because it's broken. And I'm gonna keep playing WoW. And
I'm
Good for you,
honestly
man.
doing the same. I'm doing the same type of sit-through overload where I'm like, I'm gonna play WoW. RuneScape is on my second monitor. I'm constantly, whenever I have downtime,
Wow,
I click a
and
few buttons over
RuneScape.
there. Don't look at that. I heal, and then when we stop, I'm like, oh, look at that. I can click on this thing over here for a bit. And then I move back, and I'm like, oh yes, my quest, they're done talking. Move over here. And it's great. It's great. It's wonderful.
You remote workers are so fucking cute. Oh my god. I wish. Oh,
Well, yeah, I mean, that really is kind of like how Anthony's talked about it. Essentially, RuneScape has so many different fidget spinner
you just literally
mechanics
do.
that I
Just
like
click it.
it requires no brain power. Numbers go up, and there's like cool things I'm working towards that I've started doing that actually require. I will say that, because Anthony talked about it last time. He hadn't yet had the like Osu beat rhythm game moment. I have finally gotten to a point in the game where I can start to begin to engage with that mechanic, and it has been really cool to be able to engage with that mechanic. There's a lot of cool stuff there.
Okay.
And essentially it makes a lot of the raid fights in RuneScape, they feel more like a beat rhythm game than like a different MMO, because you're just auto attacking, and while you're auto attacking, you're switching armor sets in time with the beat of the game, and then you're switching your prayers in time with the beat of the game. And depending on what happens in the fight, you're essentially going auto attack, click. Okay, now switch this armor set. You're having to do it all in rhythm because the game runs at 100 beats per minute. And so you have to do all of these things at 100 beats per minute. Like, I kid you not, there are people that play this game with a metronome, because you just have to do so many things at different rhythms in the game, which is really cool. It does make some of the content really engaging.
It is super cool.
something
I
about
promise.
something about me has an aversion to metronomes.
No?
It's like
You don't need a metronome to do it. You can just do it off of feeling too.
when it's like use a metronome, I'm like, I don't need training wheels. I can ride a bike. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Can't
You
do
do
that.
not
I ain't
need
no
a metronome to make it
5-year-old.
work either.
I mean, 4-year-old. I could ride a bike when I was 5. I ain't no 3-year-old. I could ride a bike when I was 4. I ain't no 2-year-old.
Don't do this.
But,
Don't do this. Don't keep going.
But yeah, I finally got to start engaging with that mechanic last week. I just didn't talk about it on the.
Oh.
I meant to talk about it on the podcast last week. But
Sorry, I just realized because I pulled out my Stream Deck that I have this really awesome 3D printed Stream Deck mount that slides it out and then slides it away, and then it just like sits at a 45-degree angle. And it's perfect, and I can slide
You'll
it
have
away.
to send that to me.
Dude, it is so sick.
no,
Freed
what
up
are
a
you
lot of desk
excited
space.
for?
I am excited to play some Warhammer.
Yeah,
It looks
Space
really
Marine?
fun. Yeah, Space
it
Marine.
does look really cool.
It
I'm
looks
excited.
really good. And I'm not a multiplayer person. I've just realized that I'm just not. I enjoy it. It's just I'm not good. That seems to get in the way of me playing multiplayer games. But the game looks interesting enough on the co-pilot end of it. Sorry, co-op aspect of it that I'm like, okay, I'm game. And then I know enough Warcraft lore. Sorry, not Warcraft lore. Oh my god, Warhammer lore.
Warhammer lore. Yeah.
That I already know what they can do with this, and I've heard from the developers and other people covering this that like they are fully supporting the inclusion of more stuff over time, and I'm like, dude, we already have the freaking oh my god, it's in my eye. We already have the freaking Galaxy Eaters, so like we're obviously gonna have space mummies. We're obviously gonna have well, I feel, I don't know if they have traders yet in there, but I know we're gonna have eventually traders, and I know we're gonna have the fucking boys. So I'm stoked for what they bring. I'm stoked. Looks good.
Dude, we just need to have some game nights every now and then.
Yeah, maybe
Just like that could be one of the games.
put it in the calendar, or else it's not real.
Yes, we would have to like literally have a date night.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed. But
Because I would
you
totally
have-
play Space Marine, but I just like
Yeah.
I'm playing WoW,
Same,
so I'm trying to ignore
Same.
everything else.
same.
Fair.
Dude,
you
there,
have a game, Anthony.
I do have a game, and I'm trying to find out what the name of it is, but it is Among Us meets The Office.
I have seen that.
What?
Wait.
I don't
Is
know
it
if
one
I've
where they're space suits and they all have like individual jobs? They look a little depressed inside their suits.
I think it looks like you're literally working in an office.
Oh no, never mind. Okay.
I don't know. I haven't actually seen it yet. My wife Ash told me about it.
Hey there, friend. I
Oh
finally.
no, I didn't want to play a video. I just wanted to see what the name of the game is.
That's the worst.
The absolute worst.
But yeah, like for fans of The Office, it sounds great. It's like, it's called Dale and Dawson Stationary Supplies.
Dale?
Dale and Dawson.
And so, kind of like Among Us, the goal is to find out who is not
the worst?
working.
Yeah, who's the worst worker?
who's slacking, who's not doing their work.
That's funny.
Fantastic.
It's an $8 game on Steam.
And-
9 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, it's well rated.
Very positive.
Okay.
I love Among Us and I love The Office, so I feel like this could
I
be a
am
great
fan-
game.
Yeah.
I am a fan of Among Us.
I miss the Nat family game nights where we played some Among Us.
Man, me
Those were
too.
great.
Those were
Especially they were especially great because I played a lot of Among Us. I played Among Us with my family, and I played Among Us with people that I did martial arts with, and those people really seem to think they know me, which sucks because they kind of
Nice.
do. I got
Oh,
to play
shit.
with Nat's family, and they don't know me.
Oh my gosh.
awesome. I got such a troll.
I got to play Secret Hitler with a new group the other night.
Oh,
And
And
did you make any enemies?
well, B kind of has played Secret Hitler. We've played like once or twice.
Oh my god, we haven't
but
played
not
Secret
like for
Hitler.
real though.
But this group had not.
I'm sorry, but was the liar that can't lie there?
Um,
Starts with an H, ends with an H.
No.
Oh, I know who.
Because I would love to play that with her.
But
Can't lie.
no, so they didn't really know me and Secret Hitler. By the way, for anybody who hasn't known, I have at least 150 games in Secret Hitler at this point.
Jesus
Like,
Christ, he's might be big.
I played a lot of it.
I can
I
describe
played
very well how
Invasions.
Eric plays Secret Hitler in one very succinct sentence.
poorly.
You click the randomize button. Every fucking round is very different. he clicks the randomize button in his head and it just plays it completely different every time.
I feel I do that. I do have some unique things that I try to like do, but that is, I think, a good strategy at the beginning of every Secret Hitler. Before you know what you are, you should change how you've played it every other time. Otherwise,
You know, just
people will
change your
start getting your
personality.
tells.
That's fine.
Like, that's just how it works.
Just change
And
your
you
personality.
can't do, if you really want to be good at Secret Hitler, you can't just play the same way for one side or the other side or things like that. You have to constantly switch up how you play, how
This
you
is not
think you're
fun.
going to get somebody. Well, I was Hitler both times this night,
Fantastic.
and I won both times.
Nice.
But at the end, we had a case where I had two other fascist party members on my team. We had like
Fat.
7 or 8 people, and one of them made a mistake, and so we had to throw them under the bus. So now there's only 2 of us. Now there was one person, 2 good people, 2 bad people. I convinced this one other person. And at the end of near the end of the game, she was just like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to trust the person who's lying here again. And I was like, that sucked for you because you're about to vote for me. And I'm about to win." and I was like,
Dude.
look, you can't let them belittle you like this. You can't let them destroy your choice in this game. And then she voted for me, and I was like, gotcha. And she was like, I didn't know you were like this. I was like,
I've always been like this.
Dude, I
were born.
I still
Sorry,
think
you
that
were
there's a
born
secret
for
way to
this.
win the game if you're Hitler, and that's to kill yourself. If you get yourself killed, you win, because that's like what happened.
Hey, that's the historical win for sure.
Dude, I love playing this game with. I have this zombie Nerf gun that is a 2-shot, so it has 2 Nerf shots. And the reason I love playing the game with that gun, that Nerf gun, is because you can only kill 2 people in the game, maximum of 2 people.
Yeah.
And people are so wishy-washy. They will get someone to admit something because they haven't actually committed to voting them off the island, right? Because there's like an assassination option or something like that, if I remember right.
Yeah.
It's like, no. If you're gonna kill somebody, you gotta shoot them with a Nerf gun. So we all know you've actually made the decision. You can't go, oh, so you really are not the bad guy or are a bad guy. You know, I wasn't gonna kill you. I was just talking about how
No,
I
you're
thought
serious
maybe
about
I
this.
might
Intent.
kill you.
Intent.
Like, people do that, and it's just like, it's like metagaming.
Garbage.
So
Garbage.
annoying.
I like the idea of having a.
So
way
Nat,
to
you never
confirm
played
your
Secret
choice.
Hitler?
I've played Secret Hitler.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought you were surprised by the fascist thing, so I was like,
No.
What?
I just forgot that there are different definitions for the positions. I was like, wait. What?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh wait, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just never forget that someone that Eric and I used to work with, he printed out the game before you could buy it. Like,
Yeah.
before anybody had it. So no one knew about this
Wow.
game. We're at a gaming bar in Atlanta where there's like
Yeah.
board games and video games and all whatever you can imagine. And we're playing, it's getting really heated. I yell as loud as I can, basically, you effing fascist. Waitress
Wow.
is walking by, she stops, turns. The whole
Wow.
like restaurant's just looking at us like, is there
Bro,
about to be a
are you
fight?
okay?
And it's like
You're right.
we're all just like we're all just like really into the game. Like, you're a fascist. Like, get this guy out of here. Kill him. And everyone's just like, what is happening? They
Before they knew.
They had no
The
clue.
roughest one I've ever played was when I was playing with my family. With
Oh,
me,
that. Yeah.
my mom, my stepdad.
I don't
my
play with
sister,
my family anymore.
my niece, and my nephew, and a few others. We're
Oh.
sitting at the table, and it is like the first turn, and I get 2 fascist cards from my mom, who was just voted in. And I was like, put it down, and I was like, I didn't get a choice. They gave me 2 fascist cards. And they looked at her and they were like, what did you get? She was like, I gave him a choice. Deadpan, straight up, first play of the game.
I
I
gave him a
was like,
choice.
what are you talking about? Mom, you're a fascist. What? She's like,
Oh man.
nope. Gave me
That's
a
really
choice.
good.
I was like, this monster. And then,
I
and
gave
then
him a choice.
my stepdad, he didn't quite understand the rules of first game. So he thought you were just supposed to lie the whole time, but he was a good person. And I was like, no.
Is that how it works?
Those 2
Oh my
events
God.
devolved this game into madness. And it was the wildest game I've ever played, because we had one person who was just playing by his own rules, my mom, who was obviously lying, but everybody was like, if she just learned the rules, she's obviously not
She's
lying.
fine.
I was like,
It's fine.
this is wild.
Man, that
It's
sounds awesome.
rough being the person who shares all their hobbies and then realizes that you're surrounded by people who have grown you into the person that you are.
Oh.
It's truly unfortunate.
Well,
That's nuts.
with that, I guess that's a pretty good place to end it.
so, lads.
We'll
Yeah,
have
man.
I
more
think we're
whiskey
good.
and games next week. Like, subscribe, comment below.
Yeah.
You know, all that good shit.
Yeah, all the good shit. And we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Peace.
Roll the
Bye, guys.
outro.